What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this, we have Jaishankar's excellent answer. Is Europe still naive about China? Probably. Probably. Before we dive in, if you guys happen to enjoy, please don't forget to smash subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Also, if you'd like to support the channel by becoming a member, all you gotta do is hit that join button to receive your exclusive benefits. Let's get right to it.
Do you think, and what you've heard in the last 2 days here, do you think the Europeans are realistic enough about China or still a bit naive in certain areas?
Well, look, I would honestly would have said no, but I would caveat that answer. I think when I've been coming to Europe, I've come to Europe many years ago, but pretty much continuously now for about 15 years. Okay, Europe 15 years ago, even 10 years ago, was in a very different place. So I would point to a certain evolution in Europe's position and stance. But I would also make the point it's a very differentiated picture. Not all of Europe is obviously moving on the same speed and on the same wavelength. So there are some which have a different view, some who are more hard-headed. I would make that distinction.
Vis-a-vis China now?
Yes, yes.
I mean, it sounds like sort of where we were with Russia 15 years ago as well. Europe.
Okay, you said it. I don't disagree.
Yeah. Very good. You've also agreed to take a couple of questions from the audience. We'll take two at the same time. There are floating mics if someone could put their hand up. The quicker you can ask the question, we have a lady here in the second row. If you'd like to just tell the question, I can make sure Dee can hear it.
Can anybody hear?
Yeah, I can hear you, so that's fine.
More important, I can hear you.
His Excellency, my name is Barçın Naçak from Turkey. I would like to thank you for a quote dating back in 2022 when you said that Europe should grow out of the mentality that Europe's problems are the worst problem. It's not Europe's problem.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I have used this quotation giving respect to the copyrights, but the question is, do you see signs that Europe is growing out of that mentality? And because it's really difficult to get out of this mentality.
Thank you so much. I'm just going to ask just one. So, other.
What should be their limitations and assets? You can answer, you can go on.
Okay. You have no idea how many times that quotation has been thrown back at me.
Because that quotation is like so spot on, Jaishankar. And I honestly, I don't know. I don't think it's changing. I think that the fact that India is rising, I feel like Europe is more so wanting to be more involved, wanting to do more trade with India and such. They see India rising as a country. But I don't know. I feel like it's still kind of, and not just Europe, but the West, where like if they're having issues are happening in the West, the world needs to all come together on this. But yeah, like when there's issues, maybe in like Asia, in these countries in Asia, it just seems like the world's not all on one accord about certain things, right? They're not jumping to condemn or jumping behind certain things. So, all right, continue, Justin.
So, but I do want to say this: we are now in 2025, and I think there's been a big change where Europe is concerned in these 3 years. In a way, it answers the last question. And here's my point, which is, look, a large part of being on your own, or being part of a multipolar architecture, One is to sort of realize your own capabilities and limitations and compulsions and relationships. So you're more self-reliant in a way. But the other part of it is also to to try to put yourself in the shoes of the other party. It's not easy to do. Look, I know Russia is a big issue right now. Your last observation was when you asked me. So, is that true of Russia as well? To my honest answer to you is, I don't think, I don't think many Europeans had a good sense of how the Russians felt about the relationship or about the direction of events. When people, say, "Oh, we didn't see that coming," you normally don't see that. I'm not justifying anything. Sure. Okay, I'm just saying that in international relations, if you have to be a good practitioner, if you have to do well even for your own country or for your own group of countries, it's smart to try to understand the thinking processes, the interests, the anxieties, the behavioral traits of other parties. And I certainly didn't see that, I would say, in respect of Russia also. So, in fact, often, the narrative you hear from Russia is so starkly different about, let us say, the evolution of Europe after 1992. Europe has one version, or much of Europe has one version. Russia has a very different version.
Of course. And that goes to show you. It's always two sides to every story. I will say, in most of these stories, I've only heard the side from the Western point of view. I've never heard it from Russia's point of view or any of these other countries' point of view. And so, you know what? Like, hearing from a Russian point of view, I would be intrigued to hear certain things, certain wars from a Russian point of view to hear that. But I mean, I live in the States my whole life, so we've always been told Russia's kind of been the bad guy.
The point, the quotation which was recalled was more like, okay, look, worry about the rest of us as well. I mean, we folks in Asia and Africa and Latin America, we're also taking a hit at that time, 2022, on energy, on food prices, on fertilizers. So spare some thought to us, and when you make your decisions, factor that in. That was the intent then. But the larger point I would make is, in a multipolar world, one is, of course, in a way, you're more selfish, but you also have to be more realistic and some ways smarter in trying to, it's more of a chess game. You've got to see many more moves ahead, which means you've got to be able to have the ability to read the minds of the other players as well.
Mr. Minister, thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
And I feel like Jaishankar has that ability. But I just think, dang, what was I going to say? I think that's why when I see India's power rising and their influence rising and the economy and the military, I think it's a good thing because I feel like I've said in so many videos, Indian power would give a voice to so many countries who have been silenced for so long. Um, and while this current power structure in place has been in place, right, it seems like there's a lot of countries in the world that the world doesn't care about, that are forgotten about, that don't have a voice when they vote on certain things. But I feel like India is the kind of country that, if given that power, would make sure that these countries had a voice. Still think India would come first, of course, as most countries would do, put their country first. But I just think there'd be more of a cooperation with the rest of the world. That's all we have. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, check out the next. See y'all next time.